You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Get your holidays started with the perfect tree in your perfect style from the Home Depot. Whether you want something that you can assemble in a few clicks, steal the show with over 2,000 color-changing bulbs, or a tree with lights that can be controlled by remote or foot pedal. The Home Depot has it all in our huge assortment of premium trees. Plus, get free delivery on over 2 million items this holiday from the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Life is worth living! Hi, Dan, and listeners of the show. You're probably wondering, why does Lucy look so extra beautiful and extra radiant and extra like a supermodel today? It's because Oregon is awesome. Like, this place is so cool. Everybody's so nice. It's so beautiful. The people are so friendly. The colors are cool. The mascot is awesome. It doesn't look anything like a Big Ten campus, but it's so Big Ten. It rocks. And even the Ohio State fans have been nice. I frickin' love it. Stugotz.
Go, Ducks, baby!
We're gonna win!
Big
Oh my God! Okay, we're all family.
We're all family, cousins.
Cousins. Okay, so there's no way that you could just end that after the game, though. It's not. You can't divorce. Do you like each other?
We'll see after the game.
Oh my God!
Hey,
Buckeyes all the way.
either way.
Buckeyes all the way.
It's either way.
She's gonna be hot in that thing. One of the most special parts of Oregon game day is this big, giant inflatable dock. Second, it's the river walk, where all the fans walk across this like river over here to get from campus to the stadium. It's like a 30-minute walk. That's why everybody looks so fit here. How has your experience been here at Oregon?
I grew up here and moved to Ohio 40 years ago, and my grandmother is spinning in her grave so hard, I bet there's a grass fire up on Bailey Hill.
His grandmother was one of the founders of Eugene, Oregon.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
What?
And he's
Yes,
Ohio
we're
State,
the Bailey
right?
family.
How old are you? What has your experience been with Ohio State fans so far?
They're nice, but they're smug. He's not very bright.
We're sleeping with the enemy.
I was at the grocery store this morning and a man came up to me and said, "You don't stand a chance." And I said, "I'm just trying to buy my eggs, thank you."
They've been infiltrating the campus. Guys, what are you doing here? You're from Ohio.
Hey, we can all get along, right? Come on.
Let's just pretend for a second, disgusting enough, that I'm an Ohio State fan. What would you say to me?
Go, Dogs! Go, Dogs!
For college football fans, no, we cannot.
Fuck Ohio! We going in today, they going home!
Are you familiar with the fit check?
Oh, my fit's on fire.
Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State.
All right, so about 12 years ago, I was given this rubber ducky. My mom gave me a hard hat, and I was like, I glued it here. But now I got about 7-inch lags in here.
How do you feel about Ohio State trying to trademark the word "the"?
It's kind of arrogant.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard coming from a state like Ohio.
We are the Ohio State University.
But we are the University of Oregon, so that wouldn't really make sense, would it?
Do you know what a Buckeye is?
A bee?
Sorry excuse for a mascot in college football.
I assume it's one of these things on his neck.
Poisonous nut.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Ducks eat nuts, no way.
Sometimes feel like a nut.
What's that nut?
He's nuts.
How are you guys liking the Big Ten so far?
We're loving the Big Ten. We're eating it up. Florida.
This is one of the biggest games that we've ever seen here. So it's really cool to see thousands of people on our campus.
Welcome to the real deal, that Pac-10. Come on, man.
There's a rumor that people in Ohio eat pets and dogs and cats. Today, all we eat is duck.
That has been in his notes app for 3 weeks. Do you guys have a favorite Big Ten team? We are looking for a specific answer here.
Wisconsin, because we always beat them in the Rose Bowl.
That's a really good answer. What's your least favorite thing about the Big Ten so far?
I'd say Ohio State and Michigan.
Did Michigan cheat last year?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Can I just say Michigan? I'm like, no, I can't say that. Michigan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why they haven't been stripped yet of their championship.
If you were to lose to the team up north this year, which I don't think you were. Listen. Let me finish. Don't be disrespectful. If you lose to that team this year, do you think your head coach should be fired?
He's gone.
We're trying to recruit Connor Stallions.
Stallions, if you're hearing this, you're a cheater.
But they'd like to work with you. Anything else you guys want to say to the Dan Le Batard Show?
Shout out my dad. I know you love watching the show, so this is very, very awesome to be on the show, so thank you.
Hey, Dan, I like you a lot, so I'm a big fan, so thank you. I love my Dan Le Batard, and this is amazing for me. I feel like I've arrived at Autzen. Dan, hey, anytime you want to come to Oregon, I'm going to take you out. We're going to go track down pizza, and we're going to have a good time doing it.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you.
I love you too, Dan. Let's talk about a race. Dan, everybody, I have told you every day since I've worked there that college football is the best sport in the goddamn world. And maybe my favorite weekend we've had so far. College football.
This is dizzying, trying to get used to all the conference changes. I can't get used to Oregon being in the Big Ten.
It's Oregon.
Whatever. I can't get used to SMU being in the ACC.
Right.
Everything is turned upside down, but I will say this. I watched every minute of that Oregon-Ohio State game.
Great game.
One of the greatest college football games. This isn't recency bias. It was a great game. Weren't there like 8 lead changes?
Yes.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you weren't a fan of college football, you're watching that going, oh my God, I can't not watch this.
It was such a good game. I'm with you, Greg, but I was watching this while I was watching LSU, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, Florida, and Iowa State, West Virginia. That was my Saturday night quad box. They all ended up being really good games, and the 2 of those games went into overtime, Florida and Tennessee, and LSU, Ole Miss. It was such a great Saturday college football day. But I'm with you. Oregon, Ohio State definitely lived up to the billing. I thought both teams were really, really good, and I would not be surprised if we saw a rematch later this year. But I felt awful for Will Howard on that last drive, running down the middle of the field, running out of time, and the game ending, and him just looking up at the clock like, oh, crap.
That's on coaching, no? Like, there just wasn't enough time there.
Right.
That didn't seem like that was. I didn't put that on Will Howard. Like,
no,
why?
I don't think he should get crushed for it. It was just an awful, that's just an awful feeling. I think if you're him, I think the OPI call is what totally killed them in that drive because they were so out of field goal range. There's no way they could have kicked it without him getting something a little bit closer, and then they just didn't have the time for it. And of course, there was the 12-men on the field penalty, which took some time off the clock too. So bad management. Lincoln Riley also, I think, should be getting hammered for his clock management today because the end of that Penn State USC game.
Well, same with James Franklin too.
Okay, go.
There's a timeout he didn't call, which would have given his team like 30-some-odd seconds to kick a field goal in regulation to win the game. I mean...
And the flip side of that, Lincoln Riley gets like 2 plays off in like a minute and a half. Like, it was just crazy. And then he said after the game he didn't want to give them time to have another drive to win it in regulation. So it was just like a whole day of weird clock management.
Now, I'm not accusing Lucy of this. I'm asking the question. I'm doing the Dan move. I'm not telling you how to think. I'm just asking you if you'd like to. Mm-hmm. Does she call every place her favorite? Or has she only done that a couple times?
She's done it a handful of times. I think she's only not liked maybe like one place.
Miami.
Well, I was going to say, one college football place.
But she's on a 2-game winning streak now, right?
Yeah, she is. Finally.
She is, yeah.
No. South Carolina lost last week.
2 out of 3?
2 out of 3, but
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So
good
like
correction.
She was cursed for most of the season, and then Alabama won, but then they lost to Vanderbilt the next week. So I think that the curse still applies in that case.
Ryan Day should be in trouble, right? He has the best winning percentage of all active college football coaches,
and yet he's constantly on the hot seat.
It can't be good for him when all you hear about his team, it's the best roster money can buy. That's just not a good, you got to win when you have that saying about your team.
I think this season is still a little young. You can't be panicking after this game. It was a really good game. Both teams had chances to win it. If this had been like an Oregon blowout over Ohio State and Ohio State had some like glaring issues, then yeah, I think he looks like he's in trouble. But I don't know. They both have tough schedules going forward. Ohio State, he has to beat Michigan this year, right?
Well, he has Penn State before that.
Yeah,
at
Penn State. But like the thing that fans at Ohio State are the most, I think, upset about, one of the things is his record against Michigan has been so bad. But this year, Michigan has no quarterback, essentially. They've already lost a couple games in the Big Ten. Like, you have to beat them this year.
By the way, why do you make fun of me when I say Oregon?
I used to say Oregon as well.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Because it's not really how people say it.
Who?
Are you sure?
Oregon.
I think it's a tomato situation.
Is it?
I think it's like an Oregonian thing. They get mad when you say
Oregon.
Oregon.
When you say it that way, it makes me make a face. Like every time you say it, I go, ooh.
So I got to say Oregon.
That's correct, yes.
With a heavy emphasis on the O-R. Mm-hmm. Oregon.
No, it's the good.
Oregon.
Seriously. That's the way we grew up saying it. Oregon.
That's the way I grew up saying it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that every time I used to say Oregon, Dan would make the same face that Christopher made when you said Oregon.
It's so weird.
How many times are you going to call me Christopher today?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why I'm calling you Christopher either. Your dad does it. I like it. I think
right.
What's wrong with it? You don't like it?
It's one of those things that only my parents call me Christopher.
I feel like a parent, though.
And it's funny because when I first was with this show on air, Dan called me Christopher.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I had to, like, a month in, just be like, yeah, Chris.
Right.
I prefer Chris, yeah.
So you're doing it on air rather than pulling me aside and saying, hey, stop calling me Christopher.
It's just, you've never done it before.
It's weird,
you did it a couple times today. And I'm just, it's just funny.
Yeah. How about if I call you Chris? Weird, right?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. That's not.
I could safely say for the second consecutive week that Caleb Williams is playing better than Jayden Daniels. Couldn't say it the first few weeks. You can say it now. The Bears have a quarterback. They have wide receivers. They have a good team. I predicted them to go to the Super Bowl. But Caleb Williams appears to be better than Jayden Daniels. Well, he does.
Well, did you think Jayden Daniels had a bad game yesterday?
No, I thought Jayden Daniels had a good game yesterday. He was fine.
It's possible they're both just very good.
Why do we have to put them against each other?
They're both
because we're going to put them against each other for the remainder of time. I mean, that's...
But they're both good.
Is it like we did with Tua and Herbert? Maybe they just both aren't good, and these two both are good.
No, I'm just saying with Caleb Williams, for the first 3 weeks, if you're a Bears fan, you were thinking to yourself, oh, we took the wrong guy. And I'm not certain Bears fans are saying that anymore because the last 2 weeks he's been really, really good. That's all.
Oh, don't people, you got to have a little more patience, no? Were Bears fans really doing that after 4 games? I feel like...
I mean, I don't...
Slow down.
I don't think so, Chris.
Let's slow down. And yeah, I feel like...
There was a lot of same old Bears, but I don't think they were ready to close the book on Caleb Williams.
No, I think you guys are wrong. I think when a quarterback goes number 2 and that guy comes out of the gates and he's as good as Jayden Daniels has been, you're a Bears fan. You might think to yourself, hey, Caleb's still going to be good, but we didn't take the guy. Guy. We had a chance to take him, and we took the wrong guy.
I hear you, but my entire family in Chicago are Bears fans, and I watched the whole Bears-Rams game with them, and they were as hard on the Bears as anyone, and I wasn't not the whole... People weren't blaming Caleb Williams for that. They were like, man, the Bears organization stinks, and we hate our owners.
They were saying the reason Caleb was bad was because of the organization?
No, they were just he's young and he'll get better. They weren't freaking out about Caleb Williams. That's all I'm trying to say. They were not freaking out about Caleb Williams, and I think that the next 3 games, the Bears play the Commanders, the Cardinals, and the Patriots. He'll probably continue to look good, and then their schedule gets tough again, and he might struggle again. But this is the ups and downs of a rookie quarterback.
I just put this all through the Tua prism, and I see 2 quarterbacks that can just do it all. You need a quarterback. Caleb Williams was great with his legs yesterday at times. I know he had 4 passing touchdowns,
yes,
but he still made plays with his legs. I think he's the first guy in London to have 50-plus rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in a game. And it's just, as a quarterback. And it's just... I just see Tua, and I know we're talking about Caleb Williams right now, but I just do through the prism of these guys, this is the quarterback you want. You want a guy that can make it plays out of the pocket, and it's just, I just see Tua as this guy that needs everything to be perfect in the pocket, and it's just like we are so far away. That's what I learned watching the Bears, how far away the Dolphins are.
By the way, quick Tua update from today. Mike McDaniel said Tua will not be playing this week, but they do expect him to play at some point this season. So anyone who was questioning whether or not there was a plan for him to retire, it seems as though they are planning on him playing at some point this season moving forward.
Right. Yeah, he couldn't play at Indy. That's the 4th game of his being on IR, so he was mandated to be out. He could play the following week, the home game against Arizona, but whether he will or not, that it almost makes it sound like he won't. It's pretty depressing to hear McDaniel at this point in the season go, he'll be back at some point this season. It makes you think he might be out a few more weeks. But to Christopher's point, if you have a young quarterback, it's so much better if he's a dual threat. And Brock Purdy, by the way, who you don't think of as a running quarterback, Brock Purdy has made a lot of nice first down runs.
He can move enough.
Season. Yeah, he can move enough. And
It's kind of like Duncan Robinson. Whenever he makes a play at the basket, you're always surprised. You're like, oh, Brock Purdy can get out of the pocket.
He can scoot.
He can actually move.
Yeah, but it really, you watch that and you go, wow, that's what we're missing from Tua. He's a young quarterback. He just doesn't do that. He doesn't give your offense that extra element.
But he showed signs when he was playing. He showed the ability to kind of move around and create more time for himself. He did, Chris.
Some of that.
Better than he was in the past. No?
Not for me.
Really?
For me, Tua, he's so inaccurate out of the pocket. It's just, I'm down on Tua right now.
People are going to start judging whether or not he should come back or not.
Oh, he'll come back. I worry, though, that the next concussion ends his career. That's what I worry about with him. He'll come back and he'll be fine.
The 5th one not, but the 6th one you're like, that's the line.
Look, there's a line in everything, right? There's a line you don't cross in everything. And with Tua, I feel like it's the next concussion ends his career.
Didn't you just write a column about ripping people for making him retire for the last one? But the next one, he should retire.
That's the line.
He's saying he's just worried about the next one. We should all be worried about the next one.
You wrote the column of let him make the decision.
Yes.
Everyone stop making him retire.
No.
And you just said, but the next one, he should retire.
I didn't say that. I did not say the next one he should retire. I'm worried that the next concussion will lead to his retiring against his will. The NFL has a protocol.
That's an odd distinction you're making.
No, it isn't. I'm not saying after the next concussion he needs to retire. If you open your ears and listen, what I'm saying is I fear that the next concussion will lead to the end of his career. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it isn't so.
But people are saying that about this concussion.
Okay.
And you're saying that
and you're saying, hey, you stop people. Don't be talking about a man's career.
Well, the last thing I don't want is the Las Vegas Raiders coach, a sitting coach of another team, meddling in another team's affairs.
Yeah.
Okay?
What, Greg?
I don't want Mike McDaniel saying, oh, they should start Aiden over Minshew. That's not another team's business. Mind your own business, Vegas. You know, how about win a game instead of worrying about what another team's doing with their quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
What Greg is saying, so people are saying Tua should decide to retire, Tua should retire. I think Greg's point is after the next one, he doesn't think that decision is going to be up to Tua. It's going to be made for him, and he doesn't think that's right.
I think my dad's pivoting because I called him out, and he found a way to make it make
Open
more
your ears.
sense.
I don't think you're being nice to your dad.
I think when he originally said it,
behavior.
he said, I think he should retire after his next concussion.
Okay,
and then
roll
when I
the
called
tape.
you out on your article, you're like, no, I'm saying that the league will make him retire.
Roll the tape on what I originally said.
Cut that up for me, guys.
I dare you.
Wow, you've been dared.
Oh, wow.
Don't double dare because then he's got to do it.
Right.
Triple dog dare.
If you double dare him, he has to do it,
He
just
has
so you
to.
know.
I triple dare.
Well, hold on.
him.
Whoa,
Wow.
Oh,
What does that mean?
triple dare. Oh,
Guys,
wow.
it's a Monday. Stugotz has called this one of the greatest days of his life, potentially.
Yes.
Roy's excited because we're honoring the legacy of Christopher Columbus by playing hocky at 1 o'clock.
I am not.
Let's all just reel it in a little bit. We're getting a little crazy here. Just jump into the triple dares, okay? That's all.
Everyone calm down.
Same team, exactly right. Let's
He
all
ignored
just
my
come
double
on.
dare. So
Right.
Yeah.
You went straight to triple.
had to raise the stakes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a winning hand. I raised the stakes. What am I going to do?
Stugotz here. The most important things in my life are my wife, my children, and of course, their safety. That's why I've had Simply Safe Home Security in my house for 7 years now. I want you to have the same peace of mind that I and so many listeners experience every day, which is why I partnered with Simply Safe to offer listeners 50% off a system. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim it. Whether it's setting the alarms before we all go to bed or setting that alarm before we go on another vacation, Simply Safe gives me amazing peace of mind. Simply Safe provides faster response for better protection with Fast Protect monitoring and Live Guard protection. Protect your home with Simply Safe right now. Batard Show listeners can get 50% off any new Simply Safe system, plus a free indoor security camera with Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim this offer. It's for a limited time only, so be sure to order today. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hey, it's Mike. I'm talking to you from the road right now because I am literally traveling to watch my favorite team play a football game. It's something that is pretty routine for me this time of year, and thankfully, I don't have to do it alone. I've got Game Time to help me get the best tickets on the secondary marketplace. Someone that's been in this game as long as I have, I'm constantly scouring the web for the best deal. And thankfully, Game Time, it guarantees me the best deal with their low price guarantee. And what I love so much about Game Time is their all-in pricing. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff, shows you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
Folks, listen up. It promises to be a month of tricks, treats, and of course, touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. New to DraftKings? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score a touchdown. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's the reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Don Le Batard.
Quiet man.
Yes.
I'm a married man. I don't cheat on my wife, despite that gratuitous line back in my day.
Wrote. Stugotz.
I wish you were here, my wife. I really miss her. No, I don't. That's the thing about being married. You're not allowed to say, I don't miss my wife. I've been gone 2 days. I haven't been gone long enough to miss my wife. I'm sorry. I call her. I'm on the phone with her for 30 seconds. What am I? Hello. All right. We'll see ya. All right. And then, I'm going to see her in 2 days. How's Jumpin' Charlie? Good.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I'm going to go to weekend observations.
Ooh.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, just 96 calories, available for delivery. Dan.
Where?
I'm here. Where are you? Vacationing in Los Angeles, the city of angels, Tinseltown. I won't mention how you vacation shame me. I'm a bigger person than that. And I most certainly won't say how if you were an animal, you'd be a hypocrite.
No.
Never even crossed my mind. But fear not, listeners. Don't worry. I'm here for you. Greg is here for you. Roy is here for you.
Hi.
Chris is here for you. Jess is here for you. Billy is here for you. And just like that, make no mistake about it, the lazy river is back. Texas, Oklahoma, Don't throw out the record books. Throw out Oklahoma's offense. Nick Sirianni getting into it with fans after beating the 1-5 Browns. Somehow a coach and a city have never deserved each other more. That's a match made in heaven, is it not?
It is.
Sirianni in Philadelphia?
Love it.
He should bark back at the fans. Who cares?
Yep.
The fans are proud of it, no? When you pepper Sirianni in Philadelphia, what you want is reaction from Sirianni.
Yes.
And they got their reaction.
Yeah, they love him more because of it.
Yep. I love it when they call a quarterback run a scamper.
Kind of makes me hungry.
Oh, I love a scamper.
Shrimp scampi.
Shrimp scamper. Jewish BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff. I'm not sure you should have played, but I'm sure glad you did. Had the Cougars -5. Shalom. BYU. More like BYU. They should have played BYU's game at sundown. That reminds me to my friends Tariq Cohen and Juju Smith-Schuster. Hope you had an easy fast. Mike McCarthy, dead man walking. By the time I read this tomorrow, Mike McCarthy should be fired. Stash this away in the Something to Ponder file. How sad the drive home must be for anybody who loses, who dresses up in a costume to a game. No need to discuss now. Just stash it away for a rainy day. That has to be a tough drive.
Oh, man.
You're in costume, you're all fired up, and you lose.
Yep.
Yep. By the time I read this tomorrow, Bill Belichick should be hired. Ryan Day is 1-7 against top 5 teams at Ohio State. Nobody does less with more. Mike Vrabel, Ohio State, collision course. Oregon's true test as a Big Ten team is next week on the road at Purdue. Purdue's tough. They were bad a week ago. That was a close game against Illinois.
Really good.
Right.
It was really good.
But welcome to Big Ten football.
Purdue, Illinois is always weird.
But Oregon's not going to know what to do.
Purdue, they're giant killers.
They are.
Maybe not this year, though.
I know.
Telling you why that game was close? Because I had Illinois -23.
So did I.
I think the world did.
You're on fire, buddy. Chris Cody is on a heater right
in the
now.
NFL.
Oh, my God. College football coaches, bad clock management, a tale as old as time.
Literally.
Is it? Have we considered this? Maybe Vanderbilt is just good. Vandy. Just good. When the Cardinals aren't playing well, Kyler Murray looks shorter. Laughing at my own jokes.
You ain't wrong.
He does, right?
Yeah.
Also enough. Tired of waiting for that guy to be good. Jim Harbaugh changing his pants mid-game. The Paul Pierce is strong in you. Why are we showing commercials for what game Tom Brady will be broadcasting? He's a bust. Who cares?
Do you not hear the update on Harbaugh?
What happened?
Why he missed the part of the game?
No.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it your way.
What happened?
He just wanted to change his pants. He nailed it.
Well, Paul Pierce is strong in him.
He had some heart flutters.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Arrhythmia.
His heart, is he okay?
That was the most shocking thing about all that he would leave the field if his heart fluttered. I pictured of all the coaches, like, I'm staying.
Yeah.
I'll go out
My heart's
right
fine.
here.
He had a procedure on it a few years ago.
It's a history, yeah.
Really?
But still.
Should I take that back?
He seemed, of all the, if you said to me, name a coach that will just play through a heart flutter.
Yeah.
I'd
Tough
say
it
it's
out.
Jim Harbaugh.
Tomlin.
Yeah. Right.
Gotta tough
Tomlin.
that out.
But he changed his pants. I mean,
Why?
when your heart flutters, do you change your pants?
Where
What
did
happens?
the pants thing come from?
What am I missing here?
Where's his heart located?
Shouldn't be laughing. Paul Pierce had a heart flutter, too. The truth. Total lie. Back to Brady. Why? He's not good.
He's getting better.
Yeah. Sorry, Jim. You know what the T in Detroit Tigers stands for? Not Team of Destiny. LSU, the rare game where you don't lead for a second and still somehow win the game. Death Valley at night. Goosebumps. Lane Kiffin. If you thought you were waltzing into Death Valley on a Saturday night and walking out alive, you thought wrong. Alabama fans saying it's embarrassing that LSU fans rush the field. Alabama fans, you know what's embarrassing? Losing to Vanderbilt's. Jason Taylor's son is LSU's star tight end. Holy shit, we're old, Greg.
Wow. Seriously.
I mean, you're old, but I mean, that really made me
literally
feel
old.
Dylan Gabriel really seems to have really figured it out in his 7th season of college football. I mean, seriously, sometimes all it takes is just a change of scenery or two.
There's 3.
How long has that guy been playing?
A long time.
I think I just said it, 7 years. Florida has 2 offensive line coaches. You know what they say, Greg?
What's that?
If you have 2 offensive line coaches, you don't have one.
You got that right.
Thank you. James Franklin on a big stage. Lincoln Riley against a top 5 team. Unstoppable force. Meet immovable object. Death, taxes, and Penn State having a good tight end. James Franklin did everything he could to lose that game. Lincoln Riley just wanted to lose it more. Penn State's tight end taking snaps at quarterback is so Penn State. Nobody, and I mean nobody, establishes the run like Army, except maybe Navy. This is our year, man. Billy and I have been talking about Army Navy for 5 years. They're undefeated. Playoff teams.
Jim Harbaugh was wearing the same pants when he left and came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, gray.
Really?
Is that what you've been doing over there?
I've been. I couldn't.
He had the same pants on? Did he change pants, though? Like,
What?
did he change from his gray pants? Did he have a
To
backup
his
gray
other gray
pants? Right,
yeah.
yes.
You don't know that for sure.
You don't
That's
know.
true.
I think
Right.
people saw him come back in gray and thought he must have started in khaki. So that he must have changed his
It is odd to see him not in khaki pants. I will give you that.
Thank you.
You just assume he's always in khakis.
Correct.
I'll look into this.
More?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so we're clear, Mike Ryan said that every team that Miami has beat would be ranked if they had won. That's the information you were looking for before. Did he say that? Where did he say that?
He said it on our show.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
The Raiders have played the exact same game for 100 weeks in a row. Rutgers has the same season every season. Every time Caleb Williams takes the field, a Bears fan should thank a Panthers fan. The 4 best teams in the NFC are in the NFC North gauntlet. So good. AFC South, more like the Wild West. When you see somebody punch out a football, you have to scream ball. Like in your living room. You do. Ball! Jacksonville should leave Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence in London. They play again there next week, but the rare coach and quarterback that get left in London while the team is still playing in London. Just leave them there.
Seriously.
How about Peterson saying there's a culture problem?
It starts with who?
Him?
Yeah.
You're in charge of that?
Unbelievable.
Dan Quinn must feel like he hit the lottery watching Jayden Daniels play quarterback. Derrick Henry, MVP, collision course. Rick Pitino speaking with Kentucky's team after practice while still actively the head coach at St. John's feels premature. Rick Pitino said of his return to Rupp Arena, "It was one of the best nights of my life. Nights are the only thing Pitino knows." Drake May, hope. The M in May stands for maybe. It also stands for maybe not. The D in Drake stands for don't know. Top 5 people in sports that connote a month on the calendar. Number 5, June Jones. Number 4, legendary golfer, Don January.
Nice.
He's not a legend. Number 3, Bobby April. Number 2, Drake May. Number 1, Reggie Jackson. Mr. October.
April Ross,
Oh,
beach volleyball player.
also Taylor. Here comes the hockey club. Just for you, Roy.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's weird to have a team in Utah.
Yes.
Weirder, they're called the hockey club.
I know, it's so weird.
Kalen DeBoer, you never want to be the guy that replaces the guy. Alabama, the rare win that felt like a loss. Death, taxes, and Will Levis throwing an interception that just rips your heart out. The Sixers said they are going to hold out Joel Embiid for the preseason. They should hold him out for the regular season as well. The Lions beat the holy hell out of the Cowboys. Speaking of hell, or Bryles. Dan, wherever you are, those are the weekend observations. Stugotz here. The most important things in my life are my wife, my children, and of course, their safety. That's why I've had Simply Safe Home Security in my house for 7 years now. I want you to have the same peace of mind that I and so many listeners experience every day, which is why I partnered with Simply Safe to offer listeners 50% off a system. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim it. Whether it's setting the alarms before we all go to bed or setting that alarm before we go on another vacation, Simply Safe gives me amazing peace of mind. Simply Safe provides faster response for better protection with Fast Protect monitoring and Live Guard protection. Protect your home with Simply Safe right now. Batard Show listeners can get 50% off any new Simply Safe system, plus a free indoor security camera with Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim this offer. It's for a limited time only, so be sure to order today. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.